Chapter 6. The Truth of the Matter. 'Tis better to be alone than in bad company. Hello, my name is Scootaloo. You probably know me, since I'm pretty famous, for my awesome performances at events like last year's Gallops, or maybe just as the founder of Red Racer. None of which means a damn anymore, of course. If you're hearing this, that means Omega-level threat protocols have been enacted, and you are now... Oh, damn it. Sorry. Okay. Right now, I'm talking to you as Vice President of Stabletech. You have been appointed as Overmare, or, in the case of Stable 24, Overstallion, of a Stabletech life-preserving stable. You have been chosen for your sense of loyalty and duty, both to the ponies around you and this company. And while the Stabletech HQ might be, probably is, nothing but blasted rubble now, our ideals live on. Your stable has been selected to participate in a vital social project. The first goal of your stable, like all others, is to save the lives of the ponies inside. But you also have a higher purpose beyond saving the lives of individual ponies. We here at Stabletech understand that it doesn't do ponykind any good to save ourselves, not only to annihilate each other later. We must figure out where we went wrong. We must find a better way. And we must be ready to implement it as soon as possible once the stable door is open, and survive what our current leaders have managed to do to Equestria. Damn it. I really hope no pony ever has to hear this. Can't this all just be for nothing? They're really going to destroy us all, aren't they? I'm sorry. Again, I'm totally off script. Where was I? Oh yeah. In short, Stabletech is working to ensure a more stable society for future generations. Inside the safe in your office, you will find a set of special instructions and objectives, as well as details on how your specific stable has been fitted to carry out your part. If at any point you believe that your part in the project is threatening the safety or security of the ponies in your charge, as a whole, you are to cease participation and take any necessary steps to rectify the situation. In any circumstances, however, it is crucial that you keep to the directives provided and keep Stabletech appraised of all results as per your sealed instructions. Thank you, from all of us, from all of Equestria. Thank you, and may some pony up there have pity on us all. Not the message I had been expecting. Now my feelings about the stables were completely twisted up in my head, and I just wanted to forget about them entirely. Way with the old, brace the new, right? I clopped my hoof on the counter again. Apple whiskey. Another of your specials, please. Apple whiskey, the bartending unicorn, who owned and ran Turnpike Tavern, poured me another glass. Then, as I watched, he lined up 7 apples on the counter. Beautiful, golden apples, quite unlike the pale and flavorless ones back at Not Home, and waved his horn over them magically, transforming them one by one into bottles of the most delicious, pain-numbing, mind-easing, fermented apple beverage. Beside me, Calamity clopped his hooves on the floor in applause, and several mares in the tavern let up a whoop. Don't know why I'm surprised, I half whispered, leaning on near Calamity. Your leader is a stallion, after all. Calamity's ears perked up, and he gave me a look of shocked confusion. My leader? I don't have a leader. I couldn't tell whether he sounded more offended or worried. I hoof-waved. I heard him, over the Sprite bot, but it wasn't being Watcher. Calamity looked at me with deeper confusion, and then broke into a righteous laugh. What? Red-Eye? He turned to the rest of the bar. Hey, Everpony. Lil Pip here thought Red-Eye was our leader. The whole tavern joined in on the laughter. Good goddess, girl, cried one of the mares down the counter from us. Red-Eye ain't nothing but a puffed-up prancer. Hell, I don't even listen to that broadcast. Now when DJ's on the dial... Huh? Yep, greet a buck from the nearby table as he gathered a pile of bottle caps from his cross-looking companions, many of whom were looking at colorful squares in disgust. Just let old Red-Eye try and come out here and make New Appaloosa part of this so-called New World. I'll personally take out all his unity and brotherhood and shove it right up his... Just deal, the pony next to him interrupted grumpily. So, I fought to shove new facts into the puzzle I was building in my head. The drinks were great for forgetting, but not so great for thinking. The not Watcher voice in the Sprite bot is Red-Eye, and he's not your leader. What's this Watcher stuff? The mirror closest to me asked. Those Sprite bots are just radios. Red-Eye can't actually watch ponies through them. They ain't cameras. She turned to Calamity. I mean, could you imagine if he could? Okay, now that I knew wasn't true. But apparently the fact that those Sprite bots can be used to spy wasn't common knowledge. Watcher had tipped me off to something. One of the bucks from down the counter called out, "Hey, Apple Whiskey, put DJ on." Apple Whiskey looked up at the brown box on the top of one of the shelves, which had wires running up to speakers throughout the Turnpike Tavern. With a slight glow of his horn, the radio turned on, and a beautiful mare's voice, possibly the sweetest I'd ever heard, or at least as close as I could develop remedy, began to pour out of the speakers. How did this happen? What have I done? It was only trying to help, but I caused so much pain. I wish I could hide. I wish I could run. I wish I could find a way to do it all over again. The voice and the song she sang was so solemn and sad and filled with determination that it made my mind go to unhappy places. I soon felt like crying and had to force myself not to. I figured more drink would help, so I finished mine and clopped for another. I lost sight of the war while fighting my battles, and now I carry the weight of the world on my saddle. Oh, this was unbearable. My heart was breaking. I wasn't even sure why. I grasped at the distraction. DJ. Who is DJ? The answer came fast, almost too fast to keep up with. It seemed every pony in the tavern had something to say. DJ Pony, of course. There's always DJ Pone 3. Best music in the Equestrian Wasteland. Yeah, all, 12 songs? 20? He's a ghoul pony. Been around forever. No, he's not. They keep changing. Back when I was a filly, DJ was a mare. I hear he's a Pegasus. He got stationed up in the clouds. That's how he always knows everything what's going on. That's stupid. Everyone knows DJ Pony's station comes out of 10 Pony Tower in Manhattan Ruins. He is too a ghoul pony. He's been around since before the war. I heard the original DJ Pony was actually a mare named Vinyl Scratch, who was killed when the Zebra Bale fire wiped Manhattan. But her nephew was spared, being in 10 Pony Tower and all, and took up the mantle. I heard it was her sister. My head was spinning. Calamity was smirking at me. Leaning close, he whinnied. There's always a DJ Pone 3. And in the background, the voice of seemingly infinite beauty and sadness cried out, How can I fix this? How many times must I try? Please, this time, let me get it right. The music died away, and a voice came over the radio. This is DJ Pony, and that was Sweetie Belle, singing about the one great truth of the wasteland. Every pony has done something they regret. And now, my little ponies, it's time for the news. Now, you ponies remember when I told you about those 2 ponies who crawled themselves out of stable 2? Well, I've been getting reports that one of those little ponies took out a raider nest in the heartland of Ponyville and saved several pony captives, including the beloved author of the Wasteland Survival Guide, Ditsy Doo. Hey kid, thanks. From all of us. And now, the weather. Cloudy everywhere, with a chance of rain, gunfire, and bloody dismemberment. I didn't really hear the rest. I was too stunned. I was on the radio. DJ Pony was talking about me. My heart mixed with pride and panic, the latter quickly swallowing the former. I had been outside less than a week, and I already had a reputation that was spreading across all of the equestrian wasteland. A reputation that built me up into some pony far more heroic and capable than I actually was. One last thing. The other stable dweller was last seen out near Appaloosa. My prayers go out to that one. And that's the truth of the matter. Now, back to music. Here's Sapphire Shore singing how the sun can't hide forever. From your lips to Celestia's ears, Sapphire. For a moment, everything seemed to stop. What? I turned to Calamity. Near Appaloosa? I thought this was Appaloosa. Calamity snickered, still not done having fun with me over the wasteland ignorance. Now wait, Lil Pip. This here's new Appaloosa. Can't have a new without having an old, now can ya? Then he quickly got serious. Now, you don't want to be going anywhere near old Appaloosa, you hear me? It's a slaver town. Apple Whiskey interrupted. Well, there's no harm in going up that way to trade. Sell a good bit of my trademark apple whiskey to those folk. I was stunned. Surely he was kidding. You trade with slaver ponies? Yep. In fact, got a train headed out that way tomorrow. I looked about in disbelief. You trade with slavers? Calamity whispered in my ear. Why you think I never took up living here? Wasn't a question. Next morning, I found myself out in the continuing downpour, staring at the train and feeling not a little guilty that I'd spent the last evening helping load the flat carts as part of my training with Crane. That evening would have gone by a bit differently had I known where those goods were headed. Can't talk you out of this, can I? Calamity stood next to me, checking the loads on his battle saddle. My head was thudding dully, the aftermath of too much apple whiskey, but I was thinking clearly. I knew this was foolish, but where there were slavers, there were slaves in need of rescue. I knew part of me was trying to live up to my own overblown reputation, but I'd also been captive of slavers, if only for a few hours, and I couldn't just ignore the fact that there were ponies up there who needed some pony to care enough to try and help them. No. Well, then I'm coming with you. I always wanted to take a shot at that damn place. Figure if there's two of us, might actually have a chance. His words left me feeling immensely relieved. I'll talk to Ditsadoo for supplies. Don't want neither of us to run out of ammo up there. Or food. We can take the train up to the mountains and over the desert. Chances are, we'll be trotting back. I mulled that over, and suddenly realized that even if we had our own supplies, what about any ponies we rescued? And would they be in any state to make that kind of trip? Not that such questions deterred me at all, but I had to find a way to talk the ponies pulling the train to wait for us, as we robbed the town that we were trading with, no less. I voiced my concern to Calamity. You're going to have to do some fast talking if you want to convince them of anything like that, he replied. Didn't seem to have an idea. I know some pony in town that just might have what you need to pull that off. Calamity trotted off, leaving me staring at the train once again. While I waited, I tried to familiarize myself with the train. Flat cars and box cars held supplies. Passenger cars, of which the train had only one, were for carrying ponies. The fancy red car on the back, and the big bronze one with the smokestack which rode at the front, were mysteries. I knew nothing about the former. The latter I only recognized from his familiar train car and the hodgepodge construction of absolutely everything. Curious, I asked one of the puller ponies what those cars were for. He was happy to answer.